Kitchen design. Expert secrets to create a beautiful, functional and luxurious kitchen. Welcome back to Everyday Interiors TV. If you are planning a new home, renovating your existing kitchen, or simply dreaming about creating a beautiful and luxurious space, this video is for you. The kitchen is no longer just a place where we cook. It has become one of the most important spaces in the home, a place where functionality, design, storage, technology and lifestyle all come together. But here is the biggest mistake many homeowners make. They start by choosing cabinet colors, handles or expensive materials before understanding how the kitchen should actually work. A beautiful kitchen that is difficult to cook in will eventually become frustrating. So in this video, I am going to take you through the most important kitchen design secrets that interior designers consider while planning a kitchen, from layout and storage to materials, lighting, colors and those small details that can make a kitchen feel truly luxurious. Before we begin, if you enjoy learning about interiors, home design, luxury spaces and practical advice from an interior designer's perspective, make sure you subscribe to Everyday Interiors TV. Here, we talk about how to make your home not only look beautiful, but also work beautifully for your everyday life. The first and probably most important step in kitchen design is understanding your lifestyle. Before selecting anything, ask yourself how you actually use your kitchen. Do you cook elaborate meals every day? Is the kitchen used by one person or multiple family members? Do you entertain guests? Do you need a separate space for heavy Indian cooking? Do you require extensive storage? Your kitchen should be designed around your habits rather than simply copying a beautiful kitchen you saw online. A minimalist kitchen may look stunning, but if you have appliances, utensils, groceries and cookware that need to be stored, insufficient storage will quickly create clutter. Good interior design is always about balancing aesthetics with the reality of daily life. Now let's talk about kitchen layouts. The layout is essentially the foundation of your kitchen. The most common layouts are straight kitchens, parallel kitchens, L-shaped kitchens, U-shaped kitchens and island kitchens. A straight kitchen can work beautifully in compact apartments or smaller spaces because everything is arranged along one wall. A parallel kitchen provides two working counters and can be extremely efficient when planned properly. An L-shaped kitchen works well because it uses the corner efficiently and can create a comfortable work zone. A U-shaped kitchen offers generous counter and storage space, while an island kitchen can become the center of a larger home, creating an additional work surface, breakfast counter or social gathering point. However, choosing a layout should never be based only on what looks luxurious. The size and proportions of your room are extremely important. An island, for example, may look spectacular in a large kitchen, but forcing an island into a limited space can make movement uncomfortable. Luxury is not about adding every possible feature. True luxury is when the space feels effortless, comfortable and perfectly proportioned. One of the most useful principles in kitchen planning is the relationship between the refrigerator, sink and cooking zone. These are the three areas that are used repeatedly while preparing food, and their placement should allow easy movement without unnecessary walking. Think about your actual cooking sequence. You take ingredients from storage, wash and prepare them, and then move toward the cooking zone. When these functions are planned logically, the kitchen feels much more efficient. You should also avoid creating situations where two people constantly block each other's movement. Storage is another area where good kitchen design can completely change your daily experience. Instead of simply filling every wall with cabinets, think about what needs to be stored and where it should be located. Frequently used utensils should be easily accessible. Heavy pots and pans should ideally be placed in lower drawers. Everyday groceries should have a dedicated pantry area. Small appliances should be considered during the planning stage instead of being left on the countertop later. When everything has a designated place, the kitchen automatically looks cleaner and more organized. Drawers can often be more convenient than traditional deep cabinets because you can see and access the contents more easily. Internal organizers, cutlery trays, spice storage, pull-out systems and dedicated sections for bottles or cleaning supplies can make a significant difference. But remember, You do not need every possible accessory available in the market. Select storage solutions based on what you genuinely use. Otherwise, you may spend more money on complicated mechanisms that do not improve your everyday experience. Now let's discuss one of the most visible elements of the kitchen, the countertop. Your countertop needs to be both beautiful and practical. The material you select should depend on your cooking habits, maintenance preferences, and overall design concept. Natural stone can create a rich and luxurious appearance because every slab has its own character. Engineered surfaces can provide a more consistent look and may suit homeowners who prefer clean, contemporary aesthetics. The important thing is not simply choosing the most expensive material. Consider how the surface will perform with heat, stains, cutting, cleaning, and everyday use. The thickness, edge detailing, and continuity of the countertop can also influence how luxurious the kitchen feels. A carefully planned edge detail can create a refined appearance, while a cluttered combination of too many materials can make even an expensive kitchen look visually confusing. Sometimes, using one beautiful surface consistently across the countertop and selected vertical areas can create a much more sophisticated result. The backsplash is another opportunity to add personality. This is where you can introduce texture, pattern, or color. You can continue the countertop material onto the wall for a seamless and elegant appearance, choose tiles for more visual interest, or introduce a textured surface for a distinctive character. The key is balance. If your cabinets and countertop already have strong patterns, a simple backsplash may be the better choice. If the rest of the kitchen is neutral and minimal, the backsplash can become your statement element. Let's move to cabinet finishes and colors, because this is often where homeowners become overwhelmed. Should you choose white, wood, gray, black, green, blue, or a combination of finishes? There is no single answer because color should respond to the amount of natural light, the size of the kitchen, and the overall mood of your home. Light colors can make a compact kitchen feel more open and airy. Darker colors can create drama and sophistication, especially when balanced with good lighting and lighter surrounding surfaces. Wood finishes can introduce warmth and make a modern kitchen feel less clinical. Combining a neutral color with wood is often a timeless approach because it creates both visual interest and warmth. If you want a more luxurious appearance, you can also consider carefully controlled contrasts, such as darker lower cabinets with lighter upper sections, or a strong island combined with more subtle perimeter cabinetry. The important thing is to avoid using too many colors and finishes. A refined kitchen usually has a clear visual hierarchy. Lighting is one of the most underestimated elements of kitchen design. Many kitchens rely entirely on ceiling lights, which can create shadows exactly where you are working. A good kitchen lighting plan should include general lighting for the overall room, task lighting for work areas, and accent lighting where you want to highlight specific features. Under cabinet lighting can illuminate the countertop and make food preparation easier. Interior cabinet lighting can add a premium touch, especially in glass front units. Decorative pendant lights above an island or breakfast counter can create a focal point and bring personality into the space. But lighting should not be added randomly. Every light should have a purpose. Too many decorative lights can make the kitchen feel cluttered rather than luxurious. Also think about how the kitchen looks at different times of the day. During daytime, natural light may dominate, while in the evening, warmer and more layered lighting can make the space feel inviting. Another major design consideration is ergonomics. A beautiful kitchen should not require you to bend, stretch, or reach unnecessarily. Counter heights, cabinet placement, and appliance locations should be comfortable for the people who use the kitchen most frequently. If the refrigerator, microwave, oven, or dishwasher is placed without considering how people move around the space, daily tasks can become inconvenient. Interior design is not only about what the eye sees. The best spaces feel intuitive because they support the human body and everyday movement. Now let's talk about appliances. Modern kitchens often include built-in ovens, microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators, coffee machines, and more. But before integrating every appliance you see in a luxury kitchen, consider whether you will actually use it. Appliances should be planned early because they influence cabinet dimensions, electrical requirements and ventilation. One of the biggest mistakes is finalizing cabinetry first and thinking about appliances later. This can result in awkward gaps, incorrect dimensions or visible surfaces that disturb the clean appearance of the design. Ventilation is equally important, especially in homes where cooking involves strong aromas, spices and regular frying. The chimney and ventilation strategy need to be practical and effective. A visually beautiful kitchen that constantly retains odors or grease will not feel luxurious for very long. If you have a small kitchen, do not assume that luxury is impossible. In fact, small kitchens require more intelligent design. Use vertical space, reduce unnecessary visual clutter and select a limited material palette. Handleless or integrated designs can create a cleaner appearance. Tall units can provide valuable storage, while carefully placed lighting can make the room feel larger. Mirrors or reflective surfaces should be used carefully because too much reflection can create visual chaos. The goal is to create depth and openness without making the kitchen feel like a showroom. For larger kitchens, the challenge is different. You need to make sure that the space does not become inefficient. A very large kitchen can require excessive walking if the major functions are placed too far apart. This is where zoning becomes useful. You can create separate areas for cooking, preparation, storage, serving and social interaction. An island can work beautifully as a transition between the working area and the living or dining space. Now, what actually makes a kitchen look luxurious? Surprisingly, it is not always the most expensive marble or the most complicated cabinetry. Luxury often comes from consistency and detailing. When cabinet gaps are aligned, materials meet neatly, appliances are integrated properly, lighting is layered and clutter is controlled, the kitchen immediately feels more premium. Small details such as the profile of a handle, the thickness of a shelf, the alignment of cabinet shutters and the way different materials meet can have a huge visual impact. Another expert tip is to think about visual clutter before the kitchen is built. Where will you keep your mixer, toaster, coffee machine, water bottles, charging devices and daily groceries? If these items have no planned location, even the most beautiful kitchen will eventually look crowded. A well-designed appliance garage or dedicated storage zone can help maintain a clean countertop. Let's also talk about open shelves. Open shelving can look beautiful and create a more relaxed, styled atmosphere, but it should not be treated as free storage for everything. Open shelves work best when they are curated with a limited number of beautiful and frequently used objects. If you know that you prefer a completely clutter-free environment, closed storage may be a more practical choice. Always design for your real lifestyle, not only for the photograph. One of the biggest mistakes homeowners make is selecting everything individually. They choose one tile they like, then a countertop they like, then a cabinet color they like, and finally a different light fixture they like. Individually, every element may be beautiful, but together they may not create a cohesive kitchen. Before finalizing materials, place the samples together. Look at them under different lighting conditions. Consider the floor, wall color, cabinet finish, countertop and hardware as one complete composition. Another mistake is underestimating the importance of the installation and execution stage. Even a brilliant design can look poor if cabinet alignment, edge finishing, joints or hardware installation are not executed properly. Pay attention to the quality of the carcass material, hardware, edge finishing and installation detailing. These are not always the glamorous parts of kitchen design, but they influence how the kitchen performs over time. If you are planning a luxury kitchen, my advice is to invest strategically. Spend where you touch and use the kitchen every day. Good quality hardware, a practical countertop, efficient storage and reliable appliances. You can then create visual impact through thoughtful material combinations rather than simply choosing the most expensive option for every surface. A smartly designed kitchen can look far more luxurious than an expensive kitchen with poor planning. And finally, remember that trends change. Extremely trendy colors and materials may look exciting today, but a kitchen is a long-term investment. If you love a bold trend, You can introduce it in elements that are easier to update, such as accessories, lighting, chairs, or a smaller backsplash area. For the larger and more permanent surfaces, consider creating a base that you will continue to enjoy for years. So, before you finalize your dream kitchen, remember these key principles. First, understand your lifestyle, then select the right layout. Plan storage before choosing colors. Consider movement and ergonomics. Select materials based on both beauty and performance. Layer your lighting. Plan appliances early. Control visual clutter. And most importantly, make sure every element works together as one complete design. A truly beautiful kitchen is not just a collection of expensive materials and stylish cabinets. It is a space that makes your everyday routine easier, feels comfortable to use, and still gives you that feeling of walking into a beautifully designed home every single day. If you found these expert kitchen design tips useful, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Everyday Interiors TV. We are building a community for everyone who loves beautiful homes, intelligent design, and practical interior advice. Let me know in the comments what you are planning for your kitchen. Are you dreaming of a modern white kitchen, a warm wooden kitchen, a dramatic dark kitchen, or a luxurious kitchen with a beautiful island? And if you are currently planning your home, don't forget to explore the other videos on Everyday Interiors TV, where we discuss bedrooms, living rooms, colors, materials, design mistakes, and many more interior design ideas. Your dream home is not created by copying a single picture. It is created by understanding your lifestyle and making the right design decisions, one space at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video on Everyday Interiors TV.